And if you haven't guessed by the title, we are going to be doing a car build. This is my first video of this type. The car we're going to be building is, if I'm correct, a 69 Hot Wheels Mustang Blue Racer. Or it's going to have the blue racing livery on it. I don't have the exact name. It's actually harder to find the names of these cars than you think. But I'll put a few pictures up. I'll put a few pictures up to show basically what it looks like in the box and out of the box. First thing I'm going to start with, start with the bodywork of the vehicle, whatever I can do, such as the wheels and the bumpers and stuff like that. I'm going to first choose the tire compound, and for this build I'm going to go with the race tire compound. Now I'm not going to go with the Hot Wheels tire compound because this car actually doesn't have that. There are no red rings around the tires on the wheels of this car. So I'm going with the race tire compound. There's actually not even writing on the tires, as the tires are actually too thin for that. I'm also going to increase the size of the wheels. The front wheels are smaller than the rear wheels, but at the same time they are larger than the stock wheels. If this is correct, let me grab the car for reference. If you're wondering, I actually have this car right now. I actually have the car with me. Now, it's not going to be a 100% perfect replica, as, well, for one, nothing is perfect, and two, I can't do all the things that have been done to this car in the game. As an example, the wheels, those aren't as wide as the wheels are on the actual car. On the actual car, the wheels are on the back are at least about 2 or 3 sizes bigger than what they are with that. Anyways, now the wheels. Let's see if I can find it again. For the wheels, what I'm going to be building, or what I'm going to be putting on this car is, just correct the, no, those aren't it. Hang on, I think I passed it. Yep, I had it. There it is. The HRE P45SC wheels, which I'm on right now. And once I have those installed, I'm going to increase the size of both the front and the rear rims of the vehicle. Because like I said earlier, the tires on the vehicle are actually very thin. Now, other bodywork, bumper. Alright. Didn't mean for that to happen. Of course, I never mean for my controller to disconnect, but it does it anyways. As I was saying, when it disconnected, the bumper is actually on the car seems to be the stock bumper. Now for the wing, or the spoiler, whatever you want to call it, spoiler, fin, wing, I've said it before, there are a few different names that people call it. Now, I can't put the same wing that's on the car, as there is no wing on the Hot Wheels version. The closest I can get is putting the race rear wing on there, the ducktail spoiler here. Actually, no, that's not a ducktail spoiler. Similar, but it's definitely not that. If I could just remove that without putting that on there. That would be nice. But unfortunately, I can't do that. Alright, next, can't do anything with the hood. On the hood of the actual car, there's an air intake in the middle of the hood. There's a hood scoop. And also the louvers, or those things on the rear window, the little those things, those plastic things back there, those aren't on the Hot Wheels car. The window is not covered at all. The car does have a window tint, but those aren't there at all. There is also a air intake above the rear wheels, right behind the door handle. On the Hot Wheels version of the car that I am building. Other than that, there's nothing in this category that we can do to the car. We could add some engine upgrades, but we don't actually know what it has, as it's just a toy car. Now that that is done, I'm gonna go over to the paint shop and paint the car. Because like I said, it's a blue racing livery, and as you can see, the car is neither blue and it does not have a racing livery on it. It has the stock livery. For the paint job, I'm going to go to Special Colors and go to the Metal Flake. If you actually have this car and you take a close look at it, you can actually see that it does have a bit of flakes, a bit of flakiness in the paint job, but it's not green. So we're going to have to change that. We're going to edit the colors by pressing Y and X. We're going to go over to blue. Not really a bright blue, it's more of a dark blue. Somewhere around 64, 65, maybe 66. Somewhere around there. Don't forget, we got to edit both colors. The base color and the... that's too dark. That's too dark. Make this one a little bit... Make it a little bit lighter. Flake color. That's about it, actually. Now, after that, like I said, has a window tint, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on while I'm here. From what I can see on the car here, it has a light blue window tint, so I'm going to go with something right around this area. There we go. For the wheels, they're not colored, they are chrome, so I'm going to leave them like that. After this, it's time to design the livery, which is going to be the longest part of the video, or this tutorial. Now, the actual car has a really big Hot Wheels logo right on the side of the vehicle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with that, and then apply the stripes and everything else. In order for the games, you'd actually have to make the Hot Wheels logo itself one piece at a time, and that took up a huge amount of time by itself. But with this actually makes it much easier. Increase the size a little bit, move it around about here. Let me grab the car again. A little bit bigger than that. The car by itself also doesn't match the exact size and shape of this car here. The rear wheels are actually about twice the size they are on this car. And the roof is a bit lower than it should be. The back end is kind of flat on the toy version. And the lights are a bit smaller on the back end. So is the Mustang logo in the middle there. It also doesn't have Mustang written on the back of the car. That part of the car is also very thin on the toy version. Let's see. Let's rotate this maybe like that. I think that's right. Somewhere around there. That looks right. Now for this stripes. Let's see, there's one stripe that's there's actually two stripes on the side of the vehicle, but they aren't basic stripes. They actually have a couple of, and the front bumper of the vehicle. Also, part of it lines up with the air vent that's on the back of the vehicle over in this area here. But like I said, we can't actually do that. Forza doesn't have an option to do that. Let's see. These shapes are actually going to have to be applied behind the Hot Wheels logo, but I put the Hot Wheels logo there to kind of give me another reference point to use, allowing this to go a little bit quicker. Decrease the size, don't need to spin it, just increase the of the shape a little bit more. You're gonna need to skew it a little bit, 20 degrees maybe. Trying to get this part here to line up back here where the bumper attaches to the vehicle. About a 25-degree angle. That looks right. There we go. See how it looks on the front. I'm gonna have to increase the size a little bit. Right about there, that should be good. Cut this, put it back here. Another basic square here. Gonna kind of squish that down. Move this over here. We're gonna try and make it match the angle of this curve right here, and try and line up where the air vent would be if it was actually on the vehicle. Now, I will be posting this on the Horizon storefront if you're interested in downloading it once it's finished and putting it on your 302 if you have one. Copy and paste that, move it over here. Rotate it a little bit this way. Gonna have to make this one a little bit smaller. Rotate it back a little bit. Move this one over here. This piece right here is basically going to be a small square. The air vent would be about right there where that little blue space is in the corner. That's about it. Cut all those, put them back there. Another stripe. This one's going to be below the first stripe. and one's going to be slightly thicker than the first stripe, but at the same time shorter. It's not going to go all the way down the side of the vehicle like the other one does. It's also not going to be that thick. $25. That looks right. Almost. Yeah, there we go.